What is going on in the transfer portal for the Kentucky Wildcats? That is going to be the discussion on today's episode of the Wildcats Today podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, writer and editor over at Wildcats Today, joined as always by my co-host, Carson Nash. Carson, how are we doing, buddy?
I'm doing good today. How about yourself?
It's been a long day. People would not understand how much goes into getting a passport. I didn't even realize that was going to be this difficult. It's not been my favorite day, but we're gonna make a fun outing out of it. I mean, just if you were going, we're gonna end this episode after this. If you're gonna go out of the country, get a passport well beforehand, so that's not a concern. Okay, we'll see y'all next.
Getting a passport is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, but so. The Cats land their first portal commit. Remember, portal. The other kid, why am I already forgetting his name? Colin Chandler. Technically, I believe isn't transfer portal because he never played. So it's kind of like he flipped his commitment from BYU.
Yeah, no, he's actually listed on 247. He got added to our 2020 commits.
Precise. So that's my point. So Amari Williams is the first portal commit for Coach Pope. And I mean, Carson, I really love this kid. I think you've seen a lot of people, and not like Kentucky fans or Kentucky media members, but like legitimate, like national writers, national folks sharing opinions on Williams that are very, very positive. I've seen him listed as a top 20 player in the portal. He's got a wingspan of a literal alien. What are your thoughts on him? I'm pretty stoked about him.
Yeah, I'm super pumped about him. Any player that wins Defensive Player of the Year 3 times in their conference will be a good get, you know. And we've struggled in that aspect recently with our bigs getting pushed around and stuff. And I don't think you'll have a problem with that with Amari Williams. He's about 270 pounds, brick house. He's got a 7'5" wingspan. He blocked 186 total shots at Drexel, which is equal to. This is crazy, but it's equal to the same amount of shots blocked by Anthony Davis in 1 year at UK, but which is the crazy stat of the day. But yeah, I'm really excited about this guy, and his passing ability is the thing that really, really excites me.
Yeah,
because you'll see a lot of screen handoffs, a lot of offense ran through him, which will almost be really good. So I'm really excited about Amari Williams.
Yeah, and of course, Carson is our resident Drexel knower because he does, in fact, love dragons. So, you know, Williams, I'm serious. He's a kid. I love the wingspan, and I love his ability to pass basketball. You're right about that. You have to be able to pass the ball when you're a team. Oh, I got choked up. When you're a team that wants to shoot a lot of 3 balls, you got to have a big that can pass it a little bit. And Williams can do that. And I'll be honest with you, I did not know but the 7'5" wingspan for a while. When I saw 6'10", and I wasn't concerned about 6'10". I wasn't, you know what I mean? But I was like, the 7'5" wingspan made me feel a lot better about his ability to do what he did at Drexel in the SEC. And then I'll add on top of that, I mean, if you watch the film, he can score a little bit. It's not just dunks. You know what I mean?
He's very fluid for his size. I like it.
And he's also physical. He's physical. He's not going to get bullied like we saw with the 7-footers last year for Kentucky's team. He's not going to get pushed around. I really like this addition. I do. I think that he is a player who he's not going to be looked at as like a Ballo at Indiana, the former Arizona player. He's not going to be one of these top transfer bigs, but he's a good player. And I think if they redid those rankings at the end of the year, he's going to be higher than he's ranked now. So, Carson, what are your thoughts on the Great Osobor kid from Utah State? I'll be honest with you. It seemed like he was a lock. And then we saw, like now he's taking some more visits. What are how are your vibes there? Are you, is he trying to
I still have really high confidence that he ends up a Kentucky Wildcat. Yeah. With the landscape of college basketball today, you're going to see a lot of these kids that are locks to go to a certain school schedule visits or say they're hearing from other schools just to kind of drive up their NIL and so they can make more money, which I mean is smart. It's an agent tactic. It's very, very smart. But I don't see a way that he walks off a campus not a Kentucky Wildcat this weekend. I just think there's too many things that have lined up, too much smoke. When there's that much smoke, there's normally fire. So I still feel really good about Great Osobor.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? In high school recruiting, I'd rather have the last visit. In transfer portal recruiting, I would rather have an early visit.
100%.
How many times do we see blank player will no longer take his visit to X, Y, and Z school this weekend after visiting X, Y, and Z school all the time? In high school, you like to be the last player in a kid's ear, because they're 17 and 18. A lot of times in the portal, it's the older guys, veteran players. I just think they've been through the recruiting. It's not as much exciting to them anymore. I think
they know what they're looking for more than the high school kids. They know what system fits them the best. They know kind of how they operate. They're older. They're more mature. That whole thing.
So I like Osobor a lot. I like the thought of having Osobor and Amari Williams. I think that they would be a really wicked 1-2 punch in your front court. So I feel good there. And then I guess the next guy is Richie Saunders. I know you're a huge Richie Saunders fan, Carson. And if you watch the tape, you hear people talk about him. It's hard not to be excited about this kid. What are your thoughts on him and our chances here?
Cats fans, get ready to love Richie Saunders because he pours his heart out on that court. And it is awesome to watch. Like, it gets me excited to talk about because he just loves being out there. Like, that kid, and not to mention, he was top 5 most efficient 6-man in the country last year. He can shoot the ball. He can pretty much do everything. He shot a really high percentage from twos. He loves backdoor cuts. And so in Pope's offense, this dude fits the mold. And if he can come off the bench and provide some help, I love this. I love this pickup. I think it's a fantastic pickup.
Yeah, and it's funny because I feel like he's going to end up being a dude that doesn't end up in your starting lineup. I do think he's a 6-man, but I think he's going to be one of the best 6-men in the SEC, if not college hoops. So I like him. And I mean, what are your thoughts, Carson Nash? Are we saying is he a Kentucky lock? How do we feel?
I'd put him in the lock category. Okay. I'm pretty certain of his status, but
I'm with you on that.
He's gonna be a killer here, and I'm really excited for him.
So did you see this other kid we just offered, Elijah Hawkins from Minnesota? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Reached out to offer, whatever you want to say. I like him in this offense. And there's no word there. He's kind of new to the portal, and it's the whole who's reached out list, not the where's he going to visit list. But he was number 2 in all college hoops and assists last year, 7.5 a contest. But also shot about 36.5% from 3. You take that. A kid that can pass the ball, get it to open shooters. I like him. And then Carson, you got any other players you want to bring up? I know you want to talk a little bit about JQ, but any other players besides Quaintance? Give us your thoughts on Quaintance. Any other players you want to talk about?
Yeah, I would say with the guy that you just brought up from Minnesota, I'd say you hear more on him after John L. Davis's decision. Because I think.
How do you feel there, by the way? How do you feel?
That one I can't get a great read on, honestly.
I feel worse today than I did yesterday.
I do too. I honestly do too. Yeah. And that's because I've heard some things that have said like Arkansas kind of wants to make a statement with him. And so maybe they just bring out the big guns and throw $2 million at him and he ends up going there. But
and then loses
I would like to have him
like the Cowboys.
I would like to have him, but I mean, if he goes to Arkansas, I mean, someone's going to have to be the odd man out there. I mean, they're not going to be able to have DJ Boogie and him all running guard. So someone will have to be the odd man out, which will be interesting to see there too. But I did want to bring up Quaintance, which I saw that we canceled the visit with him today, but it was very interesting to see that he did turn down Calipari. But I do think he'll end up going to Louisville just based on the NIL stuff that I've heard, which I mean, with me is fine because if you're trading Quaintance for a year, because I don't believe, even when he was a Kentucky target, I did not believe he would stay in college for 2 years. I think he's going to play for 1 year and then go to the G League or something like that. After seeing all those situations.
G League gone or something like that? The Ignite, all that's gone now.
No, I still think you can play over there. I just don't think that the G League Ignite is a thing anymore.
Yeah, but I think you would have to be a
or maybe he goes back to overtime. I don't know, but I don't think that or transfers because I don't think that he stays in one place 2 years. But I think this is strictly just like a bag chasing thing from him.
Business.
Yeah.
And good for him. No disrespect. Go get your money. I mean,
I agree. No hate towards him. But I also think if it were me choosing, I would take Osobor, a known threat, player of the year in his conference, over JQ. So if you're a Kentucky fan and you're stressing a lot about that, don't be, because I think we're going to be fine at that area.
Carson, would you transfer to the Louisville Cardinals Today podcast for $1 million?
No.
Okay. You hear that, folks? You heard that here, folks. I mean, you heard that here first, folks. Wouldn't transfer to the Louisville, whatever. Oh, there he is. It's top rope. Okay. Any other players? I'm with you. I love the addition of Williams. I like.
Jackson Robinson. We should probably bring him up.
And what? So he's testing the water. He's not
testing the waters.
I don't know what he's doing.
He's testing the waters. I don't think he'll fully commit to the draft. I think he'll end up coming to Kentucky, but it will be a little bit longer that we do have to wait on him. So that is something to watch. But I do feel confident still that he'll be a Kentucky Wildcat.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Any other portal targets, Carter? I mean, I think there's a lot of excitement, and there's a lot. Listen, when you are filling a roster from nobody to 13 dudes, it's going to take a little while. This could take a few weeks to a month to have a roster together. So these are just some quick names.
I think most of the decisions on the guard front are going to happen after John L. Davis decides, whether that be the kid from Minnesota or Aiden Mahaney from St. Mary's, right?
I got a name I want to hear your thoughts on.
Okay.
What about the Dayton 50%?
Kobe Bray.
Kobe Bray. What do you heard
Bray?
on him?
I feel good about. I feel like two of those schools on his list aren't even in like the qualification. I think they're in there just to run the NIL numbers up.
Yeah.
Like some.
He also reached his list of 5 schools is like complete no-name programs too.
Yeah, just like terrible.
He's throwing in. Yeah, it was like UConn, Duke, Kansas, North Carolina, and Kentucky. Like whatever.
That kid hates playing for Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
No, but I still feel confident about him, and I would really like to add him. I think he's an absolute stud.
Too.
So
I like him too.
He would, and he fits this system perfectly because he's a moving 3-point shooter. He's great.
It's just been quiet. It's just been a little bit quiet. I agree to see what he does. It's been weirdly quiet. I agree. So I'm anxious to see what he does. So any other players, Carson, before we call it a day?
Andrew Carr dropped his top 3 today. We were included. I could see that. I could see him maybe coming here.
Who is Andrew Carr?
I honestly hadn't watched any film or anything on him until I heard about him today. But we're in his top 3. I heard he's a stretch forward. So, I mean, if he's coming in as a bench role, I like it. I don't know if I love it as a starter, but him and that's about it for what I have. Because
he'll probably come in and back up Osobor, assuming you do land Osobor.
Yeah.
Andrew Carr.
No, because and some people are going to be like, how are you going to play Osobor and Williams together? Because, neither of them are really good shooters. But in Pope's offense, which we have never really seen with Cal, the guards screen a lot to create mismatches for the bigs. So in that situation, Osobor and Williams are great enough passers to get open looks and to have mismatches down in the post. And they'll be definitely able to take advantage of that.
Oh, I've seen tape on Andrew Carr. Yeah, he was a Wake Forest kid. He's a good player. I do like him, actually. I still like him to back up Osobor if you get Osobor. But I like his tape, actually. I really wrote an article about him. That's funny.
Yeah, I need to watch some of his stuff tonight.
Watch the tape on him. I like him. I like him. I still would probably lean toward Osobor starting, but I like him. I think he's a good player. He'd be a good addition. So that's name to monitor. Top 3 means, listen, like a decision's coming soon.
And we've reached out to a lot of guys. Like I feel like Kentucky pops up with a lot of these transfer portal guys. Yeah.
So we'll see. But we'll have another show later in the week with an update. Hopefully we get some commits by then. We get some commits and we have some more names to talk about. This will be a lot of fun couple of weeks of shows here, breaking down who are we going after, what's the recruiting scene looking like. It's going to be some fun discussions coming up here. So we're anxious and excited to bring you all that news, but that's where we're at right now. I'm hoping a decision from Saunders is coming soon. I feel good about that one. I think we both do. I still feel good about Osobor despite him scheduling a few visits. So I feel good about where the Cats are sitting right now. And then listen, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, we're getting so close to 1,000. That's the goal. We're at like 722. Keep hitting that button. It really helps. We appreciate it.
We
hit
definitely
the thumbs
appreciate
up. And then hit the, the notification bell. If you want to know when we're putting a show up, that'll come right to your phone. So hope everybody has an outstanding rest of their day today. And then, Thursday, Friday, we'll bring you another update on what's going on in the portal for the Wildcats. Everybody have a great rest of your day today, and we will see you next time.